We know the importance of education and how teachers are seen as figures who will help shape the youth's thinking. But what happens if the teachers themselves have controversial approaches? For today's episode, we're talking about how Britain's strictest headmistress claims she's been reported to the police for a hate crime after inviting controversial right-wing Canadian professor Jordan Peterson to speak at school in Wembley. Find out what this headmistress has to say and more in today's video. After inviting Jordan Peterson to visit her students on Friday, head Catherine Burblesing faced a barrage of criticism and calls to be fired. The strictest headmistress in Britain has lashed out at those she claims reported her to the police for a hate crime after she invited a contentious Canadian professor to speak at her prestigious school. Jordan Peterson was invited to visit her children on Friday by Catherine Burblesing, whose Michaela Community School in North London recently saw 80% of its kids earn 4+ or a C or above their GCSEs despite being non-selective. The respected teacher, who serves as the British government's social mobility czar, received a barrage of criticism and demands that she be fired after tweeting about the visit. Last week, Burblesing tweeted 2 images of Peterson attending her school and wrote, "Look who is at Michaela today." She said in another post that the contentious media figure was moved and tears fell as students wished him a good morning. This weekend, Burblesing posted the following on Twitter in response to criticism. "I tweeted photos of Jordan Peterson's visit to Michaela, like this one. They reported me to the police for hate crime. Many pleas to Ofsted for an immediate inspection. Cries of safeguarding concerns. Demands for my removal as head, but they deny canceling culture exists." Peterson, a psychologist and retired professor at the University of Toronto, is well known for his conservative views on gender identity, free speech, and climate change. He has referred to himself as a professor against political correctness during his ascent to stardom. The 60-year-old is a particularly outspoken individual when it comes to masculinity and has previously claimed that the male spirit is under assault. Cristiano Ronaldo, a player for Manchester United, faced criticism on Twitter 2 weeks ago after sharing a picture of himself with Peterson and calling the scholar "my friend." In a post on transgender Hollywood actor Elliot Page earlier this year, Peterson misgendered the star by referring to him as her and using his birth name, Ellen. As a result, Twitter suspended Peterson. "Remember when pride was a sin and Ellen Page just had her breast removed by a criminal physician," Peterson wrote. As for the Met Police, they stated that they were unaware of any crime reports involving Burblesing, and she's expected to take up the post of the government's social mobility czar in 2021. Back to Burblesing. The notorious headmistress shared a few golden nuggets of wisdom up her sleeves. Tough love, according to her, is the secret to great achievement. After a follower recently asked for help for a new teacher on how to take charge of a classroom, she responded with a little advice. Here's what the headmistress wrote. 1. Mean what you say what you mean. Always follow through. 2. Show them you love them. Smile and laugh with them. 3. Sweat the small stuff, but warn before. You will get detention if you rock on your chair. 4. Always go to bed after 10 p.m. The head of the school reaffirmed her views on strictness after the publication of the most recent GCSE results, stating that one error people make is to equate strict and being an authority with authoritarianism. Strict is immersed in love with high standards, not allowing kids to let themselves down, she clarified. The adults must be in a position of authority to lead, otherwise chaos. And after receiving a standing ovation at the Conservative Party conference in 2010 for her critical critique of the utterly chaotic state schools, Burblesing became well known in conservative circles when she exposed an educational system in which students were lost in a sea of bureaucracy. The formerly Marxist turned conservative was the unexpected star. In 2020, she received a CBE. She was a deputy head teacher at the time, but her candor cost her that position. In 2014, she established the Michaela Community School. In other related news, Liz Truss's intentions to restore grammar schools in England have been questioned by Catherine Burblesing, the UK's social mobility czar, who claims that they only serve students whose families can afford to pay for entrance exam preparation. According to Catherine Burblesing, the schoolteacher appointed by Truss as chair of the government's social mobility panel last year, selective schools only educated a small number of underprivileged or working-class students because they found it difficult to gain admission. She explained the issue with grammar schools today to LBC's Nick Ferrari, saying that because there is such a big industry surrounding helping kids get into grammar schools, if you don't have the means to help your child get in, you could be shut out. You look at grammar schools and think, how many children from deprived backgrounds are there? How many working-class children are there? There aren't so many these days, Burblesing comments. She continued, saying it's not wrong to argue that grammar schools in the past helped certain working-class kids advance, but she's not sure they do that as much nowadays. The Education Secretary, Kit Malthouse, stated this week that Truss intended to address the strong desire among many parents to reflect the advantages that many receive from grammar schools and the broader educational system. Therefore, they will undoubtedly continue working on it and monitor their progress. Burblesing expressed interest in learning Malthouse's approach to the selection problem, which she claimed didn't exist in 1975, and said she was eager to hear Malthouse's strategy. Since 1998, new grammar school construction has been prohibited in England. Nevertheless, Truss is reportedly eager to lift this restriction. Opponents of selection claim that there are few openings for children from less privileged homes because the tests favor those who have had private instruction or attend independent schools. The issue with tests, according to Burblesing, is that they never assess pure aptitude. They frequently put the preparation to the test, which is appropriate and right, but how are you supposed to compete with those who have if you haven't received that kind of training? The issue with grammar schools is this. So what other classroom secrets have Catherine Burblesing practiced within the corridors? Keep on watching to find out. Both Burblesing and the Michaela Community School have developed a solid reputation for order and demanding standards. In a recent ITV documentary in the school, it was revealed that students were disciplined for pulling funny faces, forgetting to bring pencils, and not making eye contact. However, Miss Burblesing stated in a social media post on Monday that it was crucial to laugh and smile with students at school. From there, she enumerated the little advices we mentioned earlier in the video, but she also added a few more in a later post on Tuesday. Burblesing clarified that they aren't magicians at Michaela and that their approaches produce excellent results in terms of both academic and overall child development. Schools that follow similar practices see similar outcomes. The solution is straightforward but challenging to accept, but she made a guarantee that if you do, the classroom and school will get better. In addition, she has previously claimed that discipline in UK classrooms is frequently too lenient while supporting strong rules and detentions for misbehavior. Students at Michaela sit up straight with their arms folded and pay close attention to teachers in the ITV documentary. Former Newsnight host and University Challenge host Jeremy Paxman also paid a visit to the North London school. He applauded some of the school's old-fashioned practices and the silence in the hallways, which gave students time to think during his visit. Paxman expressed some skepticism, though, regarding the notion that the school would be asking why he must raise his hand all the bloody time. According to reports, new students at Michaela go through a boot camp where they learn to keep their shirts tucked in and pick up crumbs after meals, but more on that later. Burblesing has in the past stirred much debate with some of her remarks. She seemed to imply that if inner-city children's schools didn't have stringent uniform requirements, they might wind up carrying blades in an interview with radio station LBC. So what's up with this boot camp Catherine Burblesing established? According to the Times, children attending the aforementioned boot camp are taught to pick up their after-meal crumbs, keeping their shirts tucked in, and behave in the Michaela way. Additionally, the school maintains a stringent detention policy, with pupils receiving warnings for things like tardiness, equipment shortages, and uniform policy violations. In the end, rude, grumpy, and miserable, Year 7 students become more well-rounded people, according to Burblesing. She assured the Times that they teach kids to be this way, even though it's difficult to believe when you meet them now. Burblesing has also stressed the significance of precise scheduling, which includes planned bathroom breaks. She claimed to make sure students are making the most of their learning time and are less likely to be tempted to break the law. And that's everything you need to know about the latest on Catherine Burblesing. What do you think about this headmistress's ways? Let us know in the comments section below. Before you go, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on for more videos like these. We'll see you next time, and thanks for watching.